Welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca. I just want to start out by saying thank you. I've been making videos now for 1 whole month. I've learned so much, I've had so much fun, and maybe I've improved a little bit. I've got so much farther to go, but just really thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I know a lot of you are also subscribed to my Facebook page, and I appreciate your support so much. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really sweet floral card. You can make it in happy birthday or thank you using the Sweet as a Peach stamp set. There are no peaches in this card, but they've got these beautiful flowers. You also are only going to need 3 colors of ink. Let's get started. Here's the Sweet as a Peach stamp set that we're using. I really like this because it uses this beautiful script paired with some printed words, and it just looks really great that way. So I've made other projects using the peach, and I've got the playlist up in the corner, but today we're just going to use these flowers. So when you're designing your card, you're going to want to pick your 3 favorite colors. I've made a couple of examples here, and I'll have all these color combinations, all the measurements for this project over on my website, so you can just go check over there after you're done. I'm going to be using kind of a non-traditional color scheme. I was messing around with colors and this just turned out really cool. So I'm going to ink up my leaves in Night of Navy Blue. Okay, so when I'm stamping this first leaf, I'm going to have it really kind of low across the bottom, stamping it off my paper. I'm going to ink this again. Now, I don't want this to, oh my goodness, I've got ink everywhere. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, I don't want this to be at the same angle as that other leaf, so I'm going to rotate this before I stamp it. And I really want those leaves hanging off the side of my card. It just looks more natural. One more time. Okay, same thing here. I don't want it to be the same angle as that one or the same angle as that one. I want to do a different angle. Now we're going to stamp our flowers, and these 3 are all connected and they fit perfectly with these stems. So let me ink this up and I'll show you. We're going to put the big flower at the top and just kind of line it up with the stems, and it does not need to be perfect. I mean, it looks great if you're just close. Do this one. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can redo that. I gotta line it all back up. Hey, that's pretty good. Now we're gonna put the centers in, and I'm gonna use a yellow. Now I want to ink these up every single time because I want that yellow to just really pop. It's kind of fun. And you don't have to be really exact. I mean, look how quickly that was. Although I guess I was pretty off on that one. Before we move on to the next part, I just want to quickly wipe the ink off of my stamps. I just don't want it drying on there, especially this dark one. All right, so now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, when you're doing this, pick your darkest color out of your card to use for your sentiment. Stamp this about a 1/2 inch in and towards the bottom of your little piece of paper. So I'm just going to line this up on top of the thanks, but I want it hanging off to the left a little bit so there's not as much margin on this side. That's pretty good. Let me wipe this off. Let's take off our center, and we're going to put on these cute little dainty flowers. And I'm going to ink it up with the same color that I used for my big flowers. Okay, so now you're going to rotate this. I don't want this to be the same direction, and I kind of like it overlapping the blue words. So now just put some glue on the back of this. Oh, you see, I made a mistake earlier. I had to do it again. Oh, I'm putting too much glue on here. Spread, spread, spread. Okay. Now we're just going to center this up. Now I've cut this so these are exactly the same width, and there's just going to be a little bit of blue on the top and bottom. There we go. So what I'll do now is attach this to this paper, and you just kind of move it around and see where you want it to land before you kind of eyeball where you want it to be before you glue it. All right. And I like to pick mine up and just kind of use my fingers to make sure it's all straight. I don't have my glasses on and I can't tell if that's very straight. Okay, so now we need to stamp one more flower here, but let me show you how to do that. All right, so now you're gonna wanna grab that little piece of scrap paper and we're gonna stamp one more flower on here, starting with the leaves. Now what we're gonna do is end up cutting this out and placing it on here. So I want it to be kind of at the angle that I'm gonna want these flowers to be, which is not the same angle as that. I don't think that made any sense. Anyway, let's put on some flowers. And the centers. Oh, that's not the center. Where did I put the center? Hold on. There it is. Bam, bam, bam. All right, now this set has a coordinating die that cuts this out perfectly if you have a cut and emboss machine. I don't have this die set, so I am gonna go cut this out by hand. Okay, that looks so pretty. Now what we're gonna do is attach it to our card, and you just kind of, it's gonna depend on where you've stamped this about where you want this one to go. Now, when you glue it, don't glue the whole thing, and I'm gonna show you why. We're only gonna glue like half of it. And we're gonna line it up along the top edge. I really should put my glasses on. There, okay, and now press it down. Now this is gonna be attached, but this is gonna be kind of up a little bit three-dimensional, and you can even bend it a little bit. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I wanna be careful not to put too much glue, which, you know what, I'm nervous doing this video and I've put way too much glue. Ugh. So when you put too much glue, your card will warp. Don't do what I just did. It takes just such a small bit of pressure on that glue bottle to get the perfect amount of glue. All right, so just, you know, line this up so that you've got equidistant amount of space around. They're so pretty. Now you could leave it like that and just put in a plain white paper so that because you wouldn't be able to write on this dark. But we're gonna decorate the inside. Okay, so let me show you what I'm gonna do with that. We'll take our 3 flowers again. Now these are in a triangle shape. So we'll use that to our advantage here. I'm gonna put it up in this corner, and I don't want all the flowers showing. I wanna stamp it off because it just looks so much more interesting. Now I'm gonna ink this up again, and we'll rotate a little bit. There. Let's put the yellow inside of our flowers here. So even this one, even though it's just a tiniest bit of flower, I'm going to put a little yellow in there. And I probably won't do that one because I didn't get very much there. I'm going to get some of the ink off of this before I wipe it off. And we're going to get those little tiny dainty flowers. This one, we'll stick this on. And I'm going to ink that up with the pink. And just randomly. Okay, now one more thing. We're going to put a sentiment in there. We're going to use this little hello. Oh man, we got to wipe this off first. Take this off. Put it back in here. Now we'll stick this one on. There we go. And I'm going to ink this up in blue. And I want this to overlap these flowers so it's just kind of nestled in there. There you go. So you could leave it like this, which I actually really, really like this. But let me show you on one of my other cards how I added a little bit of leaves. And that's with this little stamp here. Isn't that so precious? Look at my hands. If you're interested in any of the products I showed today, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and have you buy through me, through my website. A celebration is going on through the end of September, so any $50 purchase, you get to pick out a free item. Now is the time to do that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.